Greetings everyone to Zydemontic Redemption. And with New Year's Eve being tomorrow and my post-Christmas blues dying out, thank God, um, I decided to give my first impressions of Illumination's adaptation of the Grinch. And again, first impressions, because I only got about as far as uh, the Grinch acquiring his new reindeer friend before I finished cooking brunch for me and my folks and wandered off into my bedroom. Um, First impression, it's not that bad. I mean, it's not that great either. I honestly think of the reboots. The Ron Howard version is the better of the two, but this is average and forgettable, which, from what I understand, is what they were going for, like for it to be disposable. Which, kind of. I disagree with those who say that the Grinch was too nice. He's because he wasn't too mean either. He was just like this empty vessel. What it felt like they were going for was just us going off the idea, like springboarding off the idea of what the Grinch is. So, when we see him knock off the head of the snowman, the one who kid was building, slaying like another dude into the air through a holiday wreath, and, and spit into a jar of food, and knock over an aisle of food when he goes shopping, we're supposed to look at that stuff and go, oh, that Grinch, he's a mean one. But for me, it's like, there's no weight to it. You didn't commit to it. Like, that was my problem. It's like, you gotta commit to it. Like, that's one thing that the Ron Howard version has in its favor. It actually committed to what it wanted to do. But this one just played it safe because, oh, people already have their idea of what the Grinch is. We don't even need to try. And, that didn't work for me, as you can probably tell. But, let's see, what else? Yeah, didn't care for the opening theme song either. Because it's not like you can't do a rap version of the Grinch song, it's just that this one just sounded too watered down for my taste. Which is weird because, from what I understand too, I think it was Cell Specs who pointed this out. Like, they were trying to recreate the Despicable Me theme, and it's like, you can do that, but you would have to create another theme song for the Grinch. And obviously, they weren't going to do that and just save your mean one, Mr. Grinch, for the, you know, stealing Christmas stuff. But, yeah, the Grinch in this one felt too safe, which was disappointing because, they got Benedict Cumberbatch, and I was half expecting him to portray a version of the Grinch that was similar but different from the original book or Chuck Jones short. As you can tell, my expectations were a tad high. Like, really freaking high. And then you got Cindy Lou who, again, you're supposed to see her snowboarding and commentating on her skills and think tomboy. Which some people, I'm pretty sure, probably argue that they swung to the extreme in the opposite direction of the dainty little girl or tomboy, and it's like they did neither. Again, you were supposed to see this and get the impression, oh, she's a tomboy. It's like, but she's interchangeable from her friends. It's like, it, it's not like the Ron Howard version, which felt like focus tested cuteness, or heck, even the Chuck Jones short, which was literal focus tested cuteness. It was right down to her voice when she asks why Santa Claus is stealing their tree. It's like, wow, wow. And the Grinch just lied to that. Wow, wow. You really are a monster, Grinch. You really are a mean one, Mr. Grinch. If you can lie to that cute little face and that sweet little voice. Wow. But yeah, you don't get that here. At least not from what I can tell. Again, didn't get that far. And then you got the overworked mother, which admittedly they almost got me with because that's something I can identify with. It's like, wow, you came this close, movie, this close. Because it was like seeing her just utterly exhausted, falling asleep on the bus. I was like, yep, yeah, I'm not gonna pretend like I don't know what that's like. Like, not only do I see a little bit of my own mother in that, but I also see a little bit of myself in that. Of course, me being overworked, that's my own fault. But I digress. It's like almost had me with that. Like it's close, but since it was merely just the idea and not like a full sense of execution that they could commit to. Nope. Oh, not buying it. Didn't buy it. Couldn't buy it. It was the same thing with the Grinch's backstory, which is like, wow. Because at first it was like, this again. This. Because the Grinch is not the kind of character who needs backstory. I don't know what it is with like every villain needing to be sympathetic these days. Because diversity is the spice of life. You do need one-dimensional villains, and you do need sympathetic ones. It has to vary from movie to movie, film to film, series to series. And the problem is with one-dimensional villains, people suck at writing them. And it almost feels like that's the case here. The Grinch is a cranky old Scrooge who is just annoyed with all the noise and hullabaloo of Christmas. And that's all it needs to be. Like, you can elaborate on that, like what started it. It doesn't have to be a sad, tragic backstory. He can just celebrate Christmas with the Who's once and be like, nah, this isn't for me. Before, he goes back up to his home on Mount Crumpet and then has to deal with the noise of his neighbors below for the next 53 years and be like, okay, yeah, that's it. That's it. I've had it. I've had enough. The, the first time, the first time was annoying, but this is too much. I'm gonna put an end to this. You could just keep it that simple. But no, they couldn't. Because, how can you take that and elaborate on it? You can. You just gotta know how. And it's kind of apparent that they didn't know how. But even then, with like the tragic backstory of him being left alone in an orphanage, they didn't commit to that. Like, you're just supposed to see a sad little Grinch left alone in an orphanage on Christmas and be like, oh, that poor Grinch. Well, it's like, why didn't you go the route of Christmas Carol? Like, he was just left there by negligent foster parents who didn't want him. And he felt he wasn't wanted. Why couldn't you go that route? But no, again, it's too safe. I guess you're probably annoyed by the fact that it. Uh, I'm annoyed by how safe and disposable this is. Because this isn't the first time I've encountered media like this. The Star Wars sequels are like this. I've encountered at least 3 anime series that are like this, and, well, to be frank, Captain Marvel was like this, and quite frankly, I'm sick. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of safe, disposable media. It's like, because it's clear this was a cash grab. That's all it was. And honestly, if this is the future of entertainment, well, that means I'm gonna probably upset a lot of people if I can ever have any of my material turned into TV shows and movies, because I'm not gonna want to play it safe. I'm gonna want to stick to the execution of the stories I want to create and go from there. But yeah, that's just the first impression, though. I'm pretty sure if I see this again next year to its completion next time, I might have a different impression. I hope not, because honestly, I didn't want to hate this movie. And maybe that's just me. Maybe because I commit myself to not wanting to hate this movie that I won't. Because I think it'll be another year before we actually get a truly worse adaptation. Because from what I've been reading in some comment sections, some people already forgot about this. So that just goes to show you how forgettable it was, and the fact that Illumination did what they set out to do. Create a disposable version of the fricking Grinch. Again, say what you will about the Ron Howard version, but at least it's memorable in some respects. Some people love it, even though they'll admit that it doesn't hold a candle to the original. I mean, I'll admit that. I still love it. But and then on the other side, you got people who hate it for, the changes that were made. The adult humor, the shallowness of the Who's, which, again, was one of my qualms with the movie, despite the fact that I liked it. Because some people would argue that them learning the true meaning of Christmas at the same time the Grinch does is kind of undercuts the Grinch's arc a bit. And that's a fair criticism of that version. And, well, since I didn't see the end of this one, I can't give my 2 cents on that. But yeah, again, to reiterate, it's not the worst. I think we might be a decade or two away from actually getting a version of the Grinch that is definitively the worst. Because at that point, they're actually going to have to try and just like fail tremendously. Like Star Wars The Holiday Special or The Last Jedi, for example. It's going to have to be that bad, in my opinion. But yeah, this is Demonic Grinch signing out. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a nice day.